Hey, HappiDaze here. In today's video, we are going over my teams for the Kizuna Clash that's currently going on with Mihawk versus Perona. So, I didn't get a chance to get a full video out, but I did do up to 8 multis, ended up grabbing the Crocodile and Miss Sunday, and called it a day at that point. So, my teams are just focused on having them. I don't have the Dofi, I don't have the support unit that came out as well. So yeah, it's just the Kizuna legend that we have there, and I'm going to show you my teams and how we get through this content, and hopefully it helps you out. These teams are going to be for 31 plus, so just a quick note of that. So let's go through with the quick team that you see first here. So just a quick refresher of what the gimmicks actually are on here. So for stage 2, you basically have to fight Mihawk and I think it's 5 or 6 of his little buddies there. They do have resilience, so you have to kind of get through that, which is kind of a pain to deal with. So burn, resilience are kind of the two main things that you have to deal with on stage 2. And then on stage 3, and sorry, I think it's just Mihawk on stage 2. It's the other battle that has all the people. So yeah, sorry, it looks like it's just Mihawk on stage 2. So one guy, like I said, burn and resistance. We'll talk about how we get through that. And then for 31 plus, you get a bunch of nasty debuffs for pain. You have to deal with the damage nullification. You have to deal with the recovery bind, even though that's not critical. So we're just gonna kind of skip that. You have to deal with attack down, barriers, and defense. And there is an interrupt where if you do poison, he'll actually remove the damage nullification and the poison, which is kind of awesome. Luckily, we don't have to deal with resilience on the last stage, so that makes it a million times easier to deal with. So let's talk about the teams and how we're kind of getting through the content. So we are using this structure here. You're going to use a friend captain, Crocodile, Miss Sunday as well. In this case, you want to start them off on the strength variation, so you can super switch into Dex, get that type advantage. So let's again just do a stage breakdown. Stage 2, we're going to end up using our friend captain, Crocodile, and Miss Sunday. The reason that we want to do that is because that will allow us to get rid of the resilience through the poison that gets applied, and then basically we can just tap with the rest of the characters to get through there. I was originally using Sabo special on stage 2 to get rid of the burn, but even just tapping greats, as you'll see, like you can easily get through the burn, so you really don't need that to get through that. So it just gives you more damage on the final stage, so we're just going to kind of stick with that. In terms of the final stage, like I said, there's a lot of nasty stuff on there. There's the barriers, who will have Shanks to help us with. There's the 10 turns of defense up, which our captain, Crocodile and Sunday, will help us get rid of. Yeah, and there's just a lot of nasty gimmicks. There's the attack down, the 6 turns are attack down. So you see the supports on this crew, so they're all attack down helpers. So you only get, I think it's 6 turns of attack down, which actually isn't very many. So I'm more than good to go ahead and take care of those 6 turns attack down with a combination of the Jinbei special plus those support units. And yeah, that will get us through all the hard stuff. Like I said, Shanks get rid of the barrier, Crocodile and Miss Sunday get rid of the blue shield, Jinbei for the attack down. And the poison gets the damage nullification taken care of. So pretty easy to get through that fight. Nothing kind of too crazy there. The next one is where I think is probably the hardest 10-star boss battle of this Kizuna, which is against the Dex variation. So this is the team that we're using. Again, we are using a friend captain, Crocodile, and Miss Sunday. You want to have them both on Miss Sunday. So if you notice, I have the Crocodile Miss Sunday in my crew in the middle left position. That way, when I do the super swap and get made the captain, then use the special to get into the dual unit, to the combined form, I can use a super class. So this is where this unit is just so painful to deal with, to do so many conditions just to get the super class off, because the super class helps you get rid of some barriers. So let's just take a look at the gimmicks, see what's here. So for stage 2, as I got confused, there's 6 enemies total. So you have, I think it's Mihawk in the middle who has the lock on, and then it's just 5 mobs around him. Luckily, the poison, if you have poison and you use it, the special from your friend captain, Crocodile, Miss Sunday, that will kill all of them without you having to tap them. So basically, if you can get rid of that barrier, that tap barrier that you see here, it's super easy to get through the stage as long as you can kill Mihawk. So as I mentioned, to get to the ability to use that super class, you gotta kind of do a little finagling. So one, you have to have that unit get switched into the captain via the captain action. They have to use their special, but they have to use their special while having 4 people on the crew who have one of these 4 tags: the Baroque Work, the Paramethea, Logia, 7 Warlords of the Sea, or World Government. So that's extremely hard to build teams that are like that can take on all these gimmicks. But if you can do, then you can turn into the combined unit there. And then if you have not only the combined unit, but then you have to have one of these guys as well on your team. Only one, but still you have to have one of these guys on your team in order to be able to trigger the super type. And then that super type, as I mentioned, reduces the enemy barriers. So really, it's a giant pain to deal with. You have to have Miss Sunday in the middle left position there. But if you have her there, that will kind of help you really get through stage 2 pretty easily. But it's just a pain to team build for that. So let's take a look at stage 3 here. There's just a lot of crazy gimmicks here. So as I mentioned, there is resilience on this stage. So again, we're going to use the poison from our friend Captain Crocodile and Miss Sunday to get rid of that. And that will take care of that. Poison will take care of that resilience pretty easily. You have to get rid of 10 turns of threshold reduction, so this is pretty hard to do. But luckily, one of the units that can do it and satisfy the superclass condition is this Mihawk here. Granted, I know not everyone will have him, but this Mihawk here, if you use his special, will end up taking care of 7 turns of it. So you only have to get rid of 3 other turns. And what we're basically doing is we have all the support units on here who will kind of help us do that. So if you just look at quickly Pudding, she can actually help get rid of... yeah, she's actually not doing it. I could probably actually change her because we're not going to have to deal with Bind. So yeah, that was kind of a waste unit, but that's okay. Support on this will help reduce damage reduction by 1 for Otaku there. The support on this Vivi here will end up getting rid of 2 on the final stage. So just those 2. Just those 2 support units will get rid of 3 turns. Then the Mihawk with 7 is enough to get rid of the 10. I do have Lindbergh on here, just because if I use a special, again, I can get not only another turn of threshold remove, but cerebral characters get a 1.75 attack boost there. So, yeah, that's what the team looks like. We do have the Roger Legabond as the captain to start off with. As I mentioned, when we do the captain swap, that will swap our now swapped Crocodile into the leader position, and then we can go ahead and kill. So I'm not up to level 31 plus now, but theory crafting it should work, but I can just at least show you that it works on 21 plus until I get up to that point. So of course, we're going to go ahead and start with the quick variation here. As I mentioned, we're going to start off this fight with Crocodile and Miss Sunday in the leadership position there as captain and sub-captain there. So let me just go ahead and pick any random one. We want to start as Crocodile. This is what the team looks like with all the supports, as I mentioned. And let's get into it. So this team has just a crazy amount of damage with that Lilith and Usopp and their super swap and their super class. Like, we can just do damage for days with this team. So I'm pretty much going to stick with this team until the end of the event. Shouldn't be any problems there. Stage 1 against the 2 quick turtles. We're just going to go ahead and just kind of kill as quickly as we can. Turtles are dead. That's awesome. Love to see that. Stage 2, we're going to use our friend captain to super swap, or sort of swap, I should say, into the Miss Sunday. And then go ahead and use the special. That will give the poison. That will allow us to go ahead and kill Perona. As I mentioned, you could use Sabo special here if you want to get rid of the burn, but because we have so much HP because of all the boosters, even if we just do a couple greats and just hit perfects with the last 2 units, you only take 13k damage, and if you have 187k, like, that just doesn't matter. So that's what I recommend. It just will give you more damage on that final stage, which makes it a little bit better. So there we go for that one. So on the final stage here, we're just going to go ahead and start by swapping out our Crocodile Miss Sunday to Miss Sunday, and then using her special. And the poison that gets applied here, we're going to say no to switching the captain. We want to keep it there. The poison that gets applied here will take care of the poison and the damage nullification. They'll both get removed from the interrupt, which is awesome, so you don't have to deal with that damage nullification. Even though the Shanks unit, I believe, can help get rid of that as too, I believe. Or if not, I think actually the Usopp and Lilith could help get rid of that too. So a bunch of different options that you could use to get rid of that, but that unit just does it all for you if you can inflict poison. So we'll go ahead and use Shanks. Then we'll go ahead and do the super swap of the Usopp and Lilith into the Lilith version. go ahead and use the special, and the type advantage is just awesome for this unit as well. Like, this team just works so well. It's kind of crazy. Then we'll go ahead and use the special of Sabo there, as well as the EX. Then lastly, Jinbei to wrap it all up. And boom, just like that, we just have a ton of debuffs on them. We can easily one-tap, and you can see, like, we just did a ridiculous amount of damage, and that was just one unit. So we are going to be absolutely golden until the end of the event using this team here. So that was the quick fight. Like I said, probably the easier out of the two fights, which is great. You love to see that. Not too hard to build teams against. So going into the second fight, we're going to go ahead and take on the DEX variation. So I'm just going to swap over here just so I can get a friend captain to actually appear, because I've been doing battles all day. So unfortunately, if I use just the boost units on that other one, it doesn't bring it there. So I'm going to pick the Miss Sunday, hop over back to my actual team, and this is what it looks like. We already explained what all the gimmicks are, so let's just go ahead and get right into it. As I mentioned, stage 1, we're just going to kill the turtles. You don't have to do any stalling, anything like that, which makes it nice. Alright, so just kill the turtles nice and easily. Stage 2, you actually do get special bound. Sorry, I didn't mention that when I was going through the team. You do get special bound on stage 2, which is why I have the Roger Lear Gaban here. They can use their special to get rid of the special bind, and they have the ability to resist it completely on themselves. So it makes it work out really well. So we're going to use their special first. We're going to go ahead and skip that. And then we can go ahead and swap the Miss Sunday that's in the middle left slot there. And when you do that, it will ask if you want to switch to the captain. You say yes. Then you have to use that special. And then once you hit those conditions, as long as you have that 4 units of that certain type and have one of those units that you saw earlier on your team, you can finally activate the super type, which allows you to get rid of that barrier. So this is kind of the pain of building this team. I don't want to swap out, so I'm going to say no. I'm just going to one-tap with just the friend captain Miss Sunday there, and you can see the poison just absolutely destroys them. Not even a problem there. So then going into the final stage, we're just going to go ahead and pretty much use everyone else's special. When you hit with the Kaku and Zoro, you won't really do any damage. You'll only start really doing damage once you start hitting with the Mihawk. And you'll see pretty much we can 2-tap to get through this content, so we'll be able to use this team for quite some time without having to even worry about switching it up. So I want to go ahead and swap the Miss Sunday into the Crocodile, use the special just so we can apply the poison, and also the increased damage. We're going to go ahead and use the Rocks Pirates here. We're going to go ahead and skip. If you want to tap to get more damage, you certainly can, but definitely not required. Use the Mihawk special here, as well as his super class. And then lastly, we're going to do the super swap with the Zoro Kaku. Use their special, and boom, just like that, we are good to go. So at this point, starting with the second tap, we'll have the super tandem ready to go, as you see here. And you see we're already at a 9 times attack boost, which is crazy. So I just 1-tap basically, or 2-tap with those 2 units, and it's more than enough to take the team out and go. So this is going to be my teams that I'm going to go with to the end of the event. Like I said, you really only need the new Crocodile and Miss Sunday from the event. So if you pulled them and you didn't pull the Dofi or the Swart unit, that's kind of how you can get around that. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. Just a quick note, I am out for vacation next week, so unfortunately there won't be any videos with face commentary. I might try to get some content out for end of the month batch in terms of just raw gameplay videos to show kind of what teams I'm going with and how I'm going. But unfortunately, until I am back, there won't be any face-to-face or video content here. It'll just be strict gameplay videos there. So just bear with me. Need a little break with the family, so it is what it is. And yeah, I hope for that week. Your grinds go well for the end of the month batch. Hopefully you get all your hymn turtles and are able to get all the rewards really quickly. So thank you guys, as always, so much for watching. Hopefully this team helped you. I don't have 15-star teams because that's the one part of TreCru that I just am not great at, building crazy high-damage teams. So definitely check out either Stump or Toadski. They all have videos for the 15th star with a bunch of different team varieties, so I recommend you definitely check those out. That way you can go ahead and get the most tickets and get all the rewards from this Kizuna. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, until next time, be kind to each other.